back to my channel. So as promised, I did say I was coming back in January, and here I am. So as you all know, the Pantone color of the year is ultraviolet. It's that beautiful, gorgeous purplish color. So I took inspiration from that and I wanted to create this beautiful Pantone inspired makeup look. Now I did use this Jaclyn Hill palette. It's such a beautiful palette. I had actually bought this palette and the other Morphe palette in October. I received it in November and I was gonna create my holiday looks using these palettes. But if you follow me here on YouTube, you know that I wasn't gonna be able to create any looks for the holidays. So I decided to use the Jaclyn Hill palette and the NYX palette to create this beautiful Pantone inspired makeup look. This is the new palette that I got, so it's the smooth, shiny packaging. The purple eyeshadow that I used had a little bit of a fallout, but it wasn't nothing much to cry over. It's a beautiful palette. I did use the palette over the holidays and it is a gorgeous palette, I must say. The blendability is like butter. I've seen all the reviews, the good, bad, whatever. I know a lot of people have issues with the Morphe brand, but all the other good reviews about this palette is true, guys. It is a beautiful palette. The blendability is so good. It's like butter. It's soft, it's smooth. I do like it. So that's it, guys. If you want to see how I created this beautiful, gorgeous purple Pantone makeup look, then keep watching. So first off, I'm going to start with my Fenty Pro Filt'r primer, and I'm just going to apply that all over my entire face like you would normally apply a primer. Next, I'm going to color correct. I'm just using the Maybelline Mastercamo color correcting kit and I'm using the orange corrector. And I'm applying this to all the dark areas on my face just to color correct. And I'm also color correcting my dark spots on the side of my cheek. And a few dark spots that I have on my forehead. Okay, next I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Primer, and this is the Mattifying Primer. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of this, apply it to my fingertip, and I'm just applying this to my eyelid. I know it's a face primer, but I like using it for my eyelids. It tends to keep the eyeshadow lasting a little bit longer because I have very oily eyelids. And the foundation here I'm using is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Longwear Foundation, and the shade I'm using is 330. I'm just going to apply some foundation onto my face. I'm just using a little bit for now because I know this foundation tends to look very yellow on my skin, but it does match my neck. I'm just going to use my Y6 brush by Morphe to apply the foundation and blend it into my skin. Do you see how yellow it is looking? But the shade that was above it and the shade that was below it totally would not have worked. But I mean, when blended into the skin, it's beautiful. For quite a while, Sephora did not have my shade, so I basically had to wait until they notify you that they had replenished their stock. So yeah, so I had to basically wait quite a while for my shade to come in. So I'm just basically dragging what's left on my foundation brush down my neck. So next, moving on to concealer, I'm using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is in the shade Caramel. It's medium dark. A little bit down my forehead and my nose. And I like using my beauty blender to blend my concealer out. And whatever is left on the beauty blender, I just like to apply it to my eyelids. Next, I'm just going to go in with my Rimmel Stay Matte powder, and this is in the shade Silky Beige. So I'm just basically going to use this to set my under eye area and my eyelids. I forgot how good this powder is. I used to use this powder a lot in my past videos and then I just moved on to others, but it is a very good powder. Next, I'm going to go in with my Cover FX Matte Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Medium. I'm just basically going to take my Morphe E3 brush and I'm going to dust this all over the rest of my face. Okay, so next I'm going to do my eyebrows, but I'm just going to do them quickly off camera so I can save some time. Okay, so I've just finished my eyebrows and now I'm just going to set my eyebrows, and I'm using the Anastasia brow gel, and I'm just going to run this through my eyebrows quickly just to set them in place. Now I'm just going to use my Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette. I'm just going to use this just to contour my cheekbone. I really like using this powder because it blends with my skin nicely. I forgot, the brush I'm using for this is the Morphe E8. I'm just basically using that same powder, and I'm just using this to lightly bronze the perimeters of my face. I'm switching to another brush, and this is the Sigma Medium Angle Shading brush. It's the E70, and I'm just going to lightly contour my nose. I'm gonna have to blend this up because I think this is a little bit too much contouring for me. So now I'm just going to leave the face and I'm going to move on to the eyes. And for the eyes, I'm going to move on to my Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm actually going to go in with this shade here called Pukey. I'm basically going to apply that to the whole crease area. And the brush I'm using here is the Sigma Tapered Blending Brush. It's the E45. So I'm just going to use this to apply Pukey to my crease area. I'm just going to take it up a little bit higher because with my hooded eyes, when I open my eyes, the makeup look don't really show. I'm going to use the shade Royalty. It's that sort of beautiful purplish color, and I'm just going to apply that to my outer V area. Oh, and the brush I'm using is the Morphe E17. Now this eyeshadow has lots of fallout. I forgot to use my tape. It's looking so vibrant and beautiful in real life, but on camera I don't think it's picking up the true colors. So I'm just going to go back in with the small tapered blending brush by Sigma, and I'm just going to blend the edges so you know we don't have those harsh lines. And I'm just going to go back into Pukey just to add a little bit more of that transition shade back. Okay, now I'm just going to leave the Jaclyn Hill palette for now, and I'm just going to go into my NYX Metals palette, and I'm going to pick up this shade right here. And I'm just going to use my MAC 242 brush, and I'm going to pick up some of this and apply it to the inner one-third area of the eye. I'm sort of trying to use my brush to create cut crease, although it's not going to be so much of a cut crease, but we'll take what we get. Okay, now we are going to go back into the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to pick up some of that same shade Pukey. I'm going to run this on the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to go in with the same Royalty shade. I'm just going to use my Sigma E30 brush, the pencil brush. I'm just going to pick up some of the Royalty shade and apply it to my lower lash line. Next, I'm just going to go into the darkest shade in the palette, which I think it's almost like a black shade. It's called Abyss. I'm just going to use my Morphe M410 brush. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the black shade, and I'm going to basically stamp it onto the outer edge of my lash line, just to basically deepen up the outer edge a little bit. So next I'm going to tight line, and here I'm just going to use my L'Oreal Magnetic Pencil eyeliner, and this is in the shade Ultra Black. I'm just going to use this to basically tight line, and this is such a beautiful pencil, guys. It is matte and it really stays put. And I'm also going to run this on my lower lash line. For blush, I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Kit, and this is the Radiant palette. I'm just going to go in with one of these shades and sort of mix them up a little bit. So actually I'm just going to pick up these two shades right here. And it's so pink, it's popping. Okay, so I'm gonna blend this out a bit because I think it's like too much. So for highlight, I'm using my Becca highlighter, and this is in the shade Champagne Dream. It's just a tiny one and it looks like this. It sort of has that pink undertone to it. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna pick up some of that and apply it to the tip of my nose. And a little bit down the bridge of my nose. And my chin chin chin. Now I'm just gonna switch brushes, and the brush I'm using is my Sigma shader crease, my crease shader brush, but this works perfectly for highlighting the eyebrow area. And the inner corners of my eye. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the eyes again, and I'm going to apply some mascara. And of course, I forgot to mention the mascara that I'm using here is the CoverGirl Total Tease. This is my favorite and my best mascara. Okay, and for lips, I'm gonna line my lips with the Huda Beauty Lip Contour Pencil, and this is in the shade Trendsetter. And for lips, I'm using my Patrick Star and MAC collab lipstick in Mama Star. And to top it off with the lip gloss, I'm using this Marc Jacobs lip gloss in Pretty Things. Next, I'm going to set all of this makeup, and here I'm just using the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray, and I'm going to mist my entire face. And this is the final look, guys. I hope you did enjoy this beautiful makeup look. I did enjoy creating it. I did practice it yesterday before I actually come on here. And please don't forget to check out my Instagram. The link is in the description box. And also please don't hesitate to subscribe. The button is right there. With that said, guys, that's it. I will see you guys in my next video, and have a beautiful day. Bye. And this is the final look, guys. I hope you really, and lipstick on my teeth. Ugh. And this is the final. Really? Oh my god, how the hell do they do this? See that? Foundation dropped directly onto my sweater. Didn't even touch my face.